all the beverages, please indulge yourself. Just bring it back to your seats as we listen to Tino. Floor is yours, Tino. AI, go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We're gonna talk about AI. That is everyone that is talking about, right? Okay. So if I may ask, what is AI to you?
What is AI to me? It
Yeah.
is a way to make my life easier. I use AI for image generation, reasoning, calculations, job function. My favorite right now is Victor.
Perfect. Sure. Okay.
That's my favorite right now.
You were first. Okay. So. Okay. All right. So the topic for tonight is how artificial intelligence is really gonna transform the job markets and eliminate some, and always create some other opportunities within the job market spectrum, right? So, firstly, this topic we're gonna cover is gonna be in 5 aspects. It's gonna the how AI is gonna disrupt certain jobs, and the jobs that are gonna be prone to elimination through AI, and AI as a tool, how we thrive in other industries, and the human advantages over AI, and lastly, how do we equip ourselves through the transition of AI? All right. So this data is based on a report that was done last year by Goldman. So 85 million jobs around the world were replaced by AI. Then 97 million jobs were created by AI. Then 44% of jobs are risk to be eliminated by AI in the next 5 years. That is 2030. And across all fields, 300 million jobs are being affected by AI. So it comes to understanding, is your job going to be affected by AI, or are you equipped to transition to AI? All right. So here what we're going to discuss, the jobs that are really being affected by AI. Those are repetitive jobs that we constantly do repeat, right? Then we have other jobs that are less autonomous, and jobs that are prone also to be replaced by AI are jobs that require less human interaction. So customer service, bank tellers, shop assistants, web developers. Like in every spectrum, AI is into it right now. And if I were to ask the audience, what tools do you use for AI in your day-to-day lives? Yeah, I'll start with you.
I will use Perplexity, Claude, Get Victor, Mamoose, Juno. Those are the ones I use the most. I don't use ChatGPT as much anymore because since it was updated to Image 2.0, the reasoning and it drifts way too much. It doesn't stay on point, so I don't use ChatGPT.
Do we have video editors in here?
I have a question.
All right. All right.
Can you define AI? Can you please tell me exactly what AI is?
Okay, so AI in simpler terms is a machine that mimics the human intelligence.
It's the Terminator.
Okay. So
The best
Basically, AI has been with us all along, right? But it has evolved. An ATM is an example of an AI machine, right? But it has been within our existence all along. And our phones, now they say they have AI, but they have been already equipped with AI for us to communicate. That's embedded technology that was underlying there, but now it's getting more sophisticated. Like through the transition of mobile phones, right? Basically, it was just for call, then it evolved to calling, messaging, and then we enter into the era of the smartphones. Now you can have the access to the internet. Then from the internet, now we are in the AI bubble. All right, so this is the period where we are right now. But through 2004 to around 2020, we're in the World Wide Web bubble. And now we migrated ourselves to the AI bubble, which is like everyone, it's still a new technology that everyone wants to have a chunk of it. And nobody really has fully exploited how AI operates, right? And that's why we find we have certain issues with AI that people are having a hard time to comprehend what is AI, how AI is gonna replace their jobs, how they compare themselves with a machine, a robot. Like, if this robot is implemented in my area of field, will it outsmart me in the task that I was doing? All right. So that is one spectrum that us as humans, we fear AI the most. But it is always important with every technology that is coming up. We have the early adopters, then we have the late adopters. So it's up to you which way do you want to fall in, all right? Because as it stands, most jobs are going to be replaced by AI. That is very definite. As business look at the operational costs and the productivity that the AI agent will bring to the business. Yes. So it's up to us to upgrade ourselves to make us more competitive within the market. Make your sound, you sell yourself to the right candidate, all right? You say you're a video editor, right? Right now, there are a lot of video editing tools that within a click of a button, I can replace the middleman, because long ago I had to wait like 2-3 days or 2 weeks for you to edit my video. Now I can just upload a compilation of videos with one button, then I get the product. But as yourself, as a video editor, how do you see the competition with AI is bringing into your market?
Again, I don't really see the competition because the AI doesn't do what I do. The AI doesn't have the same eyes that I do. They don't have the same feeling that I do. So when I'm editing a video, I'm editing the video from my mind. You understand? Again, you could train it to do so, but it's only doing me. It's not being itself. It's being me.
But if you have
So if I'm using an AI program, somebody already trained it, right?
no, you can train it
Again,
as to your
well, like in the conversation he's having, like right now, he's like you said, you could take a bunch of videos, press one button. Somebody already trained that AI. So
Yes.
that person who trained that AI is not me. They don't have the same vision. They don't have the same feeling. They don't have the same understanding of how to make the video. Now I understand that I can take that same AI and put my personality into that AI, but as is, like he's discussing, it's not me, and it's not gonna make the same video that I'm gonna make. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
gonna cut the video in the same place I'm gonna cut the video. It's not gonna put the same scene where I'm gonna put the same scene because I have a different idea of how I want the video to come out. You understand? Like I'm using it with feeling and it's Shari's show, so I gotta center Shari. I gotta put 6 clips of Shari and 4 clips of something. You know what I mean? Like there's just like difference that I look at when I'm making a video of how I want it to come out to the person I'm making it for. If that makes any sense. AI is just making a video. You know what I mean? It's just making something to satisfy you.
Yeah, yes. So, like what you have highlighted, right? AI doesn't have the cognitive reasoning that a human mind has, the critical thinking. But for us, we fear that if I make myself more available to work, it's gonna make me be more in demand. But the business look at the operational costs. All right. For you to to become more competitive or in demand, you have to upgrade your skills, all right? But now, this is how AI is gonna affect everything, because AI started to transition during the pandemic, all right? And through the pandemic, business were seeing it that, okay, most people were doing remote work, and they were cutting a number of costs by having in-house employees. So they started now to adopt the AI. Then when you look at telemarketing right now, how many of us have the niche to be in hand to have a human conversation rather than to talk to the chatbot? Not many, right? We are used to. We are used to talking to the agent, right? Rather than to have the human conversation. It's getting instilled in our minds. But us as humans, what are we doing to make ourselves understand the technology that is being embedded on top of us to aid us in our day-to-day livelihood? So what are we going to do? What are we transition to do? So these are certain areas where AI is going to be thriving most in these fields, especially in educational and teaching, because we see now more about videos that are being prompted with less the teacher in front. It's just a video tutorial. You do this, you do this, you do this, and it has to a set of instruction that is being followed, right? But as we go on, there's gonna be, as new technology is gonna be adopted into, there's gonna be challenges to it. And those challenges regarding now to security issues. If the AI is in the right tool, how are you going to use it, for good or for bad? So those are the kind of AI that now with the legislation, people are still in question. Can AI be aiding to, or is causing more destruction? So it's just a bubble that we are trying to liaise with each other as people who are trying to adopt this new technology and implement it in our basic day-to-day lives. So what requires us to thrive in different fields of AI? It's AI and software engineering are always being evolving, right? And as we model versions of AI, they're coming much more smarter each and every time, right? By the time we have like a finished product of an AI, it has the expertise of a professional person in that field. But it requires a knowledge base, and us as humans are the ones that are providing the knowledge base. What we want, the reasoning capacity, to have that human-like attributes that if one person has to accomplish it, then it has to require the expertise of the professional person in that field. So,
Isn't that just proper prompt engineering?
yeah, it's prompt engineering, but at a good scale.
Well, good for who? Because if you ask the people at Facebook, 6,000 people just got laid off of Facebook, and they spent 2 years programming that AI to basically take their job. So who is it
AI is only benefiting the business.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So the business is just operating at a lower cost. All right. Imagine okay, I'll take you an example. Like you have highlighted 2,000 people versus one board agent. Who would you pick?
But again, it's good for the corporations that are making billions of dollars, but what is it doing for the people? Because again, I was just getting paid, not me personally, but I was just getting paid $80,000 at Facebook. They just cut my job to pay an AI nothing. And what am I sitting at home doing? I'm sitting at home gonna cause problems. You understand? So like again, who is it good for? Like if they were making AIs to clean my house and to wash my dishes, we're all fine. But they're making AIs to take my job.
It's not only about taking your job, but AI is being implemented in various industries. We now are talking days.
Businesses are gonna be there left.
These days we talk about smart homes, right? Smart homes. We have got robots that cleans our houses, all right?
Now, really, you got a Roomba that'll clean your floor, but he ain't scrubbing my walls. I ain't got that Roomba. That's not here yet because they've been focusing on taking jobs like these, taking jobs like creatives.
Yeah.
That's where their focus has been. It hasn't been on I haven't seen one fix a car yet. You understand what I'm saying?
They're still in the development stages. They're still in
They're
the.
going for certain things first. When
Yeah.
as humans, I think we would rather a robot babysitter or a robot. You know what I mean? Like, I think we would rather that than the robot that is taking the cameraman's job, that is taking the daytime person's job or the IGA person's job. I'm just as humans, I think we would rather that. instead
Yeah,
of the way
but
they're going.
but if I were to ask you, like, the AI, all right, what makes a human mind more advanced than the AI?
I would say your creativity.
Right. Your compassion, right? So here is what makes the human mind makes more outstanding than the AI system that we are always having a struggle to compete with. The emotional intelligence, to understand, to have that empathy of a human being, to have conflict resolution amongst, let's say, you maybe in the judicial, because they have been implementing the AI judge recently in some countries. So no one doesn't have the cognitive of conflict resolution because it's just abiding to certain procedures that has been installed in its memory base, and it's just having that logic to say if a person kills someone, was it in an act of self-defense or is just murder, right? So it doesn't have that cognitive reasoning, right, as us as human mind. Then you come to yourself, right, as a video editor, the creativity that you possess in the human mind, right, it makes you very outstanding.
Yeah, but at some point the cost is going to outweigh, like you just said, if you can get a program for let's call it $20 a month instead of paying me $400, you're going to go with the program for $20 a month.
It's cheaper.
This is what we're talking about here.
Yes, but now you have got certain ways that you preserve your knowledge, right? Your knowledge is your biggest asset you can possess.
But every video I make, every time I type into Google,
Yeah.
it starts to take a piece of me.
Yes.
So eventually it's going to have what I have.
Yeah, but okay. So with an AI model, right, is us humans, we train it to be better each and every time. All right. But as we are always, there is a quote that we say necessity is the mother of all inventions. All right? By Esther Bosra. So with every situation, the human always thrives. No matter how much we are trying to rely on AI, the human mind is always on top and is always thriving. I'll give you an example. Like right now, you are competing with an AI agent in video editing, all right? But like what you highlighted, you know where to cut the video, you know the precise point that brings the emotion within the video. You know how to bring the life in the video. But the AI can do or just an application that is okay. You said you want a beautiful scenery. Okay, chop it, right? It doesn't picture, it doesn't have life. It's just a video. But does it have the life that is put in the video for you to have the comprehension? Because we understand videos are not just for us to watch, but it's a medium that relays information, all right? But how are you conveying the information to the audience, all right? So what is important about having to convey the information to the right audience? It's up to you, the human mind, your creativity, that is mostly important. Your critical reasoning is always important. AI tree hasn't reached that level to have that critical reasoning, right? For you to be more outstanding than a machine. How many mistakes, like when you use an AI agent, at the bottom, the fine bottom, there's mistakes. You understand? So it means like within the AI too that we are trying to justify is still prone to errors. All right. And why do you think that they had to write it in such a fine line that no one pays attention to? You understand? So it's a very, very fine line that if you don't take it into account, you may omit it, all right? But that gives you that covers the AI that is prone to making mistakes. And it always makes mistakes, but the mistakes are very minimum compared to a human. Yes. A good example, like on your ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI tool you use, all right, each time you feed information, it starts to recognize the personality that you have. Yeah. So when it retains the memory, it's been trained to be more understanding towards your reasoning capacity, right? So, if we're to pull out our phones and say, okay, on Claude, on ChatGPT, can you tell us a little bit of ourselves? It has all the history that every detail is tailor-modeled into us as a person. But now, what you call the biggest asset that is more valuable these days? Yeah. The biggest asset when it comes to everything that evolves around human, what is it today? It's data. Companies manage data. Data is now becoming more valuable than anything else than gold. Data is something. Imagine if I were to have data of people in the room, right? And each one have certain specifications that you want, and I would create a model based on each and every personal appreciation on certain topics. All right. So data is now become more valuable than anything you can have, because data is the one that is used to train these AI models. But you cannot train an AI model without the data. So you need data to train a model. For it to become more progressively intelligent, you need data. So each and every time you come and feed your information on AI tools, it becomes more, it has more that intellectual of the human mind or the professional within that area. So data is something that is more valuable than anything else. You can put gold, right, in comparison with data. A company that has data is the leverage in the AI race. So that's why you find companies, tech companies mostly, they value the user's response, the feedback. That's why they always ask you, all right, I can give you an example. How much can we say when we're having a conversation? Maybe I like this shoe. The next thing, that shoe is starting to pop up on your phone, on your ads. You understand? So it's not just coincidence. No. Yeah. So it's information that is retained on your device that the companies are using to train the model, right? And those models, I keep on, okay, you like this shoe, all right? I'm gonna keep on giving you the feed until you buy. When you buy the shoe, you stop receiving those ads. Yeah, so they have reached the goal. So the human mind has been fed information that if you have repetitive information, you gonna psychological, right? It's very psychological. The information is very psychological, and it forces you to have bought a product out of based on repetitive ads being pop up on your feed. It's not like, oh, the phone that knows me that much that I like this shoe, but it's just information that is being fed to various platforms that you browse through. And looking at several sectors that are being automated by AI, we look at financial, transport, manufacturing, retail and sales, healthcare, and also tech and engineering. When we look at finances, I think my brother over there has highlighted, like, there are certain models in finance that you're using that are implementing AI, but before, you were requiring skilled people, people who are very good at statistics that would project and see every day, right? But right now, you're just using a software and they have replaced those mathematicians. And now you can easily model and you can predict how the market is going to be trending, right? But there are certain circumstances that unforeseeable, right? Like wars, right? You do not predict war, right? But the AI model would have predicted that by a certain time, the market is going to fluctuate into a certain decline, and through this, there's going to be a recession and how the economy is going to pick up, right? So those are the models that people who were doing that calculation models are replaced by a system. But the system requires people who know to operate. That makes you where you come into it. The system, AI models can never eliminate human interaction. Human interaction has to be there. But now it requires you to adopt to the truth. Yes? The accurate information. So for transport and logistics, now we are seeing a increase in self-driving cars, but without the elimination of the human interaction. But yes, we had the cruise control in our cars, but it was just cruise control. All right. But now, with the implementing of AI, we are starting to see cars are becoming more intelligent. All right. Self-parking.
You gotta admit, there's some women that need help with self-parking. Come on.
It's a share. It's a 50-50 balance, right? So each and every time we're seeing that AI is aiding, right, but never replacing the human interaction. Right? It's a truth that it makes our lives more easier, right? But if we are to have the debate about how effective AI is going to be, and in the future, like, how do you see ourselves competing with AI? Right. It comes up to us as humans. How are we willing to learn about the technology, to understand it, and implications that it's going to have in our lives? So
How do you educate yourself using AI technology when as soon as you think you've mastered one particular aspect, they've come out with 3 new versions and you're always behind the curve?
So technology is evolving on a rampant scale because, like I highlighted before, the AI bubble, nobody has appropriate information to say they've created the fine product. It's still a version that is evolving each and every time. The more you make errors, the more it's gonna evolve for itself and correct itself and become more refined through each and every day in our lives. Like you have said, like when you have mastered a certain version, then 2-3 days later they're gonna bring another one. All right. So it's something that is on the constant evolution. Like us when we evolved, all right, to become where we are right now, we got to a certain stage in life, right? From the industrial age to where we are now, there's been evolution to tools, aiding tools that we use for farming. We started using animals, but now we are using tractors, all right? So it's an evolution through.
Evolution between where we started from. We went from caveman to self-driving cars was thousands of years.
Yes.
And we're talking the evolution of AI, we're talking weeks.
So that gives you, okay, if I were to give you an example.
It's a very good.
So if I were to give you an example, a good example, when we were the World Wide Web, right, we see many companies digitalizing themselves to be having a piece of the internet, all right? So it was a competition. But back then, companies were not well versed in internet. But right now, the AI bubble is like we are having people who are doing into quantum computing and the AI bubble, right? Plus, we have the companies that are doing with the World Wide bubble. So when you put those 3 technologies into one place, they're creating one product that is on the constantly being updated each and every single time, right? So through certain stages in life, we find the more an AI model makes mistakes, the next time you're gonna use it, it's not gonna repeat that mistakes twice, all right? But for a human, you are prone to repeat that mistake several times for us to be comprehensive, right? But for AI,
What kind of human you are, there's a lot of humans that say, I'll never make that same mistake twice, literally.
So it depends, all right? But for us, as people who work in tech, we like to face errors because that makes our lives more interesting. We thrive through failing, right? So you will never be satisfied with a product that doesn't have any errors. For me to be satisfied, a product has to have errors. So I correct that, you have that self-accomplished that I've managed to solve this task. So I thrive through errors. That is our mantra. If a product doesn't have errors, it's not a product. We have to find errors. So that's why you find products now are being put into rigorous quality assurance test to test if a product is well finished. And when a product we say it's finished, it's never finished because it's a continuous regression of a product that, all right, if I solve this error, next time there's something that is gonna pop up. I have to solve it. That's why I give you a phone and update. And the application has to be updated each and every time. So it's not like it's an update, but I find an error that I'm rectifying and I put a patch. So the patches are gonna come each and every time. So this is like the AI model. If I fail, the next time I'm gonna solve the task, I'm gonna come with a new patch and I'm gonna be, articulate in that area. So that is how AI is constantly evolving, like what you have highlighted. Like, it has to continuously evolve, right? For us to be in that spectrum where we reach the no error zone, but it's not going to be possible. I've answered you. Oh, okay.
But it's a tool that they're using to force humans out of positions. It's not just a tool. It's actually something that is fit. For example, like you just said, Waymo. Waymo is taking taxi drivers, taking Uber drivers off the road. So again, it's not just a tool. This is going to be life. It's not just a tool. This is going to be life.
But you can also look at it that you're taking them off the road, it allows them to be able to have more time to do other things.
Do what? There's a machine doing everything. What are you going to do? Spend time with your kids? like, what are we talking about here? Like, for example, like you said, it's making everything easier. Why do we need things easier? When you go from horse and buggy to car, everybody got fat. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why do we need things easier? But why do we need things easier is the question.
They made automatic cars, right? Instead of
Exactly.
Unfortunately, there is something like a human evolution. Like if you don't adapt, like.
But again, who is putting this human evolution? It's not God. This is companies. Companies are doing this.
No, it's not God, because God gave us the intelligence to be able to do well for ourselves.
But again, is this doing well for yourself? This is again the question you need to ask yourself: is this doing well for humans? Because again, like you said, these are corporations that are pushing these things basically to save money.
But they're not doing it for good.
They're doing it for the most part, to save
For
money.
their good, but not for my good or your
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
But
So
for
again,
their bottom line, it is more efficient to not
For
have
them.
a staff of 200 people, where you can have a bunch of AI agents do the job of 200 people. and
but is
just
that
have
good
one
for
person.
humanity? Is that good that 200 people are together?
Okay, so in a nutshell, I'm gonna give it a food for thought, all right? So AI, like in every technology, is gonna cause tensions amongst its users, all right? But what is important to notice with evolution, all right, we have what we call adaptability. In nature, all right, selects the weakest and leave the strongest.
That's not true. That's a lie.
It's a true.
Not true. There's
All right.
weak things all over nature.
I'll give you an example. If you go to the savannah, okay, if you take a safari ride, All right. A lion, he has to eat. All right.